Hello and welcome to Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga, and this is our side of the internet where we get to speak about true abundance, personal authority, emotional optimization, and the pure power of alignment, all while living in the presence and guidance of God Himself. I am a holistic coach and mentor focusing on healing the emotions keeping you stuck so that the mind and body can align and live a limitless life. We all have a mission and a purpose, and I am here to help you unchain from what's been holding you back to actually live in your full potential. Think of it as transformative triggering in the best possible way. The time has come to live a life you love. Let's dive in. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to another fabulous week of Becoming Abundant podcast with your host, Anna Maria Jinga. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for joining and opening up your minds. Thank you for everything. My darlings, we are back in Calgary for the warm season. I'm actually very excited to see what gets to unfold in this new chapter. As some of you may know, my family and I have been traveling between US and Canada. 6 months here, 6 months there, enjoying bringing our work everywhere because we get to work from everywhere because our work is mobile, our work is online, our work comes with us. And it actually brought so much perspective into how we get to do life because one thing that we were never prepared for when COVID hit was how much we were living in a lie, both in our relationships and in our friendships and the people that we were committing to, and the relationships and friendships that we were nurturing, the connections, the community, until it all came crashing down. And it brought us, some of the people are saying, oh, COVID brought me to my knees. It actually did bring us to such a raw level of living that it also awakened us. It awakened us back to God. It awakened us back to our true essence of living. It opened up our courage and our perspective of how much we get to do when we do not sit in a place of following orders just to follow them, or following a norm just to follow it because other people are doing it and we were taught to do it. We lost a lot during COVID, but everything that we lost, we gained in a transformational form. And as I'm recording this, it's literally Wednesday evening, the day before the episode comes out, and we have just been in almost a 6-day full drive from Florida. Well, actually, we stopped at my brother's in Georgia, but from Georgia all the way to Calgary. If you guys know geography, it's from a southeast to northwest of the North American continent, which is beautiful and freaking long. So, one, my voice is kind of low right now. But two, these trips are always bringing out for me space to think, space to talk to God, space to also thank God so much for everything that He has been bringing into our lives because we get to live this lifestyle. This has been our third year doing it. Our businesses are thriving because we stopped living apologetically. We stopped constantly saying sorry for who we are and trying to mold ourselves for others, and actually took the reins to become who we are meant to be, who actually God made us to be. And the thing about all of this is, not only do we feel like we have gained a voice out of this whole turmoil and change, it also helped us understand how much was actually in our power. And today I want to talk to you guys about it's a quote that came to mind this morning as I was getting ready to wake up for the day. We have the time change, so it was 5:40 when I was waking up, which was supposed to be 7:40 Florida time. So as I was waking up, I realized that wow, we are just one devotion away from a completely different lifestyle. And I realized as we were sitting in the car and my husband was driving, and I was like, sitting with everything that's going on and just digesting where we are right now in our life and how far we've come, even in the past less than 5 years. It's amazing how much what my heart's devotion shifted into, how much that has changed our lifestyle completely. Not only are we closer to God, not only are we coming from a place of true alignment, even this place of grounding presence in our truth that we just love sharing with others. It also brought us so much light into our hearts, so much peace, but also so much courage to do more and more. I want to expand the brand. I was talking to my husband. I want to see it so big that people will not know how we got here. And it's already impacting so many of your guys' lives. And it's so amazing seeing every life shifting the moment I get to help you land the concept that you're actually free in God, in your mind, in your emotions. You are free. You're born free. Whatever limitations you have been taught on your life are actually false. They are complete lies. And I get to teach you all of that. And I realize that more and more it's, yes, bringing freedom to the hearts and minds of people, but also helping women to build back faith. Because when a woman sits in her faith, breathes into that faith that only God can offer her. If you're not a Christian and this doesn't resonate with you, this is not for you. I'm talking to you, women who are on the fence, moms who feel overwhelmed, grandmas, aunts, sisters, daughters who feel like, I need a revival of my heart. I'm here for you. I'm here for you because I get to speak life back into you. Because one, you're deserving. Two, you have been created to be the receptor of God's abundance. You are not created to live in lack. This world wants you to live in lack because it's feeding off of your energy of scarcity. It's feeding off of your fear, of your desperation, off of your worries and doubt. It's feeding off of you. That doesn't mean that you need to live in that anymore. So when I speak into your heart and into your mind, hope and faith and truth and trust and courage and inspiration and in spirit, it's because I want to see you understanding how much freedom will change everything about your life. And when you think of freedom, it's not a matter of this liberal perspective of, and I'm not talking politics here, the liberal perspective of freedom that doesn't let you have any responsibilities and it feels like, oh, I'm free and carefree and I'm not taking any responsibilities and I don't need to make decisions and everything's easy and blah, blah, blah. No, not that. I'm talking about sitting in the power of surrendering the concept of being free to actually living in freedom. When your mind belongs to you completely, when your heart belongs to you completely, and the only other person that has your mind and heart are God, and between you and Him, you have that relationship that feeds you so that when you are in a relationship with another person, they feel God through you. They feel that unwavering love that God gets to offer. That's freedom. When you get to sit with your kids, dear moms, when you get to sit with your kids and just experience the joy and the love outside of the overwhelm, that's freedom. When you get to run your own hours, live your life on your own terms, create spaces where you feel more like you're playing than working, creating experiences where you feel more and more aligned. That's freedom. Also, being in communities where you get to live from your heart and not limiting yourself, from your space of grounded presence, from your space of compassion, and not needing to restrict yourself or pull back, that's freedom. And we get to do all of that here. I get to do that with my clients. I get to do that in the podcasts. I get to do that everywhere because I was on the other side of the fence, and my devotion back then, and it resonates a lot with last week's episode where we were talking about obedience. Last week's episode on obedience was a massive breakthrough for me and for a lot of my clients as well, who are listening to it and realizing that I'm obedient to my fear. I heard that from a client and I'm like, holy God, it landed so deeply with me because I was obedient to my fear for 20 years. I was so blinded that the fear needs to be my identity and the victimhood needed to be my identity that I didn't see that it's literally a matter of choice to be free. But the thing is, when we think of freedom and devotion, you're able to create a devotional of the heart for emotions and feelings that help you be free. Now, what does that mean? When you think of being in the space of devoting your life to something that matters, devoting your life to a legacy, devoting your life to a mission that is far beyond just you, be it in your community, be it in your church, be it in your family, you're taking on more of the responsibility of nurturing your family, nurturing your parents, nurturing your kids, nurturing your spouse. You sit in the space of devoting your heart, your mind, your presence to something that will leave something behind when you're no longer here. But in recent times, maybe before as well, but I'm seeing more and more recently, so we'll go with that. In recent times, I have noticed that the concept of devotion has to be for ourselves. We devote our time to ourselves, we devote our energy to ourselves, we devote our money to ourselves, lots of personal development that leads. This is my problem. A lot of the personal development that's out there right now, not all of it, but a lot of it, is focused on creating you as the God of your world, you as the only limited space where you can do everything and live in your power and all of that, taking God out of it. And when we take God out of it, who is the source of our power, who is the source of our courage and our strength and our limitlessness, we tend to fall into the limited patterns of always wanting more and more. You've heard me talk about this. But the thing is, when we want more and more, we're never fully satisfied. And when we're never fully satisfied, we lack. And we live in this frequency of lack that literally feels like everything is against me. Have you ever found yourself thinking, oh God, what now? Why is this happening again? Where is this taking me? What's going on? I have many times until I stopped seeing that life is happening to me. Life is attacking me. Life has the need to hurt me. And I took the me out of the story. Now, the moment when I took me out of the story, everything changed because I saw that life happens without me anyway. The good, the bad, the funny, the crazy, the weird, the whatever, the supernatural, all of it happens with me or without me. So taking me out of the equation helped me observe, helped me observe how life can happen with me or without me. And it doesn't have to happen to me. It's all a matter of, am I allowing this to hurt me, or am I allowing this experience, situation, whatever, to teach me something so I can grow better? Now, when we live in that space of allowing things to teach us better, more fruitful, we have more of what we like to call a growth mindset. But the thing about this is, when we do have a growth mindset, it's a very fine line between having the focus of growing and the focus of never having enough. So that's where God kicks in. We want to grow, we want to learn from God. We want to experience the blessings, the potentiality of the limitless experiences with God. But the thing is, if we do not let go of the reins of controlling and micromanaging how it needs to show up, devoting our hearts and minds and spirits to God and His mission, we lack what He's offering. The fruits of the Spirit, the joy, the, the peace, the kindness, the love, the things that can make us feel like we're complete. Because I ask you now, if you're lacking in faith, if you're maybe a Christian, maybe not a Christian yet, maybe you don't even think about Christianity, but you want to feel more aligned, more in tune. Have you found yourself feeling like every time you're trying to, quote unquote, manifest something, bring something into your life, do something better, more? Have you found yourself falling back into a pattern of lack? 9 times out of 10, my clients would say yes. And here's why. We tend to focus so much on what the world is trying to teach us, and we separate ourselves from who the real teacher can actually be, which in my case, it's God. If you do not believe that God as a concept of Christianity, the God Father, the God Son, the God Holy Spirit, is a living God, maybe we need to talk differently. But this is what I want to talk about, because when we connect to the frequency, the energy of the Holy Spirit, that's when we open ourselves to who we really are. We open ourselves to be filled with the Holy Spirit that has been gifted to us. When we do that, we also get to feel the benefits of learning the Holy Spirit's gifts and blessings to us. Then we get to offer our devotion, our true devotion, our heart's devotion to something more powerful than just us and our day-to-day life. We get to create a legacy behind that speaks as a life worth living, a life worth learning about, changes and testimonies that will make people think, wow, however am I going to allow this to happen in my life as well? Because that's the thing. Whenever we want to create something bigger than just us, we will feel a certain type of fear, a certain type of pullback. You get to convince yourself to not listen to that voice and to keep going. That's where the true devotion lands. It lands in the space where you get to see things differently than just this limited world. So my darlings, for this week I ask you this. Where is your devotion going to? And where do you want to take it next? Because sometimes we get to play around with having more connection to God, to his spirit, to our mission, to our purpose, to our true purpose. And it's good to ask ourselves these things. Where does devotion go to, and where do we want to take it next? So, my loves, I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for tuning in and bearing with my voice today. I love you super much. Thank you for being in this fabulous community of ours. I appreciate all of the presence and the messages you keep sending me. So remember, my email is info@becomingabundant.net. Signing out, signing off from Calgary tonight. I love you. Have a fabulous week ahead. And until next week, remember to stay salty and bright. Bye now.